As we think about the changing needs and preferences of the people that we're here to serve, we need to have integration between primary and specialist services. We need to have integration between physical and mental health services, and we need to have more integration between health and social care services. That is the triple integration agenda that we are pursuing. All of the day-to-day pressures that we have seen over the last 6, 8, 10 weeks, all of the conversation about winter, the million more or so people that we are seeing in A&E departments, all of this is not an alternative conversation to the conversation that we need to be having. It exemplifies precisely why doing more of the same is decreasingly felt to be a viable option by the majority of the frontline staff who are actually serving patients across the NHS. We know that the NHS is having to run to keep up. We know that staff are working incredibly hard, are going the extra mile, and are under significant pressure. I see no contradiction between the operational realities of the here and now and the broader strategic agenda. These are not disconnected activities, they are one and the same agenda. The fact is that many of the instruments that we are bringing to bear right now were designed for a set of challenges facing the National Health Service a decade or more ago, particularly the need to expand operations, elective services at a time of extra purchasing power to deal with very long wait patients. That was the principal cause of concern by the British people. And although of course there are still pressures, the fact is, as we all know, that the health service has done a fantastic job on that, and the median wait for an operation in England is now under 10 weeks. So a payment system, a set of local dynamics that are principally designed around driving output and responsiveness for elective care probably are not well suited for the triple integration agenda that we're now pursuing. But that's fine. It is in our gift to change these things. And so the second point I want to make is that as we distinguish means from ends, we've got to think about the unexploited comparative advantages that a National Health Service gives us and the degrees of freedom for designing some of these things pragmatically that we can make use of. Because these new approaches and care models have got to be different than what we're doing right now in order to have impact, it's going to be difficult to do it. And anybody who thinks that we are simply relabelling, or as I said as HSJ later before Christmas, we can just kind of respray stuff that we've got and it'll be the same old under a different title, is fundamentally missing the point. That actually, for us to have the impact on the quality of care, on the efficiency of care, on the responsiveness of care, the way in which we configure services, the way in which users interact is going to be substantially different, and that is no trivial task. And because it's no trivial task, we've got to learn by doing, and we've got to learn by doing together. We are moving away from the idea that in a National Health Service, everything has to look the same in every part of the country, certainly in terms of its administrative arrangements, but equally we're rejecting the idea that it's enough for the national leadership of the NHS just to wash its hands and assume that every part of the country can kind of figure it out under your own steam without the backing or the support in order to get it done. So this point about the degrees of strategic freedom, the choices that are available that look different in different parts of the country, we've got to, in the next 10 weeks, make some smart choices about which parts of the country we use some of the fighting funds that we have at our disposal, year one of the transformation fund, and in doing that, we're going to be asking you, what is it you are proposing? How does that connect with the goals that you're trying to bring about? And the reality is we're probably going to be making some quite soft judgments about the quality of relationships, the strength of leadership, the ability to build consensus and drive change, as against a lot of the usual kind of performance indicators, metrics, form filling that is used for these kinds of exercises. We need to get going on this agenda because there is obviously not only a lot of public visibility on it, but also a lot is hanging on our ability collectively to get this right and to be able to demonstrate to the rest of the health service what these facts, these new facts on the ground will look like.